Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new interview here on the channel. I am joined today by a fighting fabulous group of people who are putting together the Queer in Fantasy with their upcoming film Crown and Blade. Welcome Isabella, Iona, David, Andrew, Lena and Bailey. Thank you all for coming on. I really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm very excited. To introduce you all to everyone, could we go through in whatever order you are all feeling today, of who you are and what role you are playing?
Cool. I'm Isabella, and I play Livia, and I'm also the director, writer, and producer.
My name's Iona. I'm the costume designer for the film. My name's Lena. I play Pitra, one of the guards.
My name is David, and I am the king.
My name is Andrew, and I'm playing Prince Ezekiel, the quote-unquote bestest boy.
Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm playing Declan, the captain of the guard, and I also did some of the stunt directing on this.
Amazing stuff. So yeah, as I mentioned in the intro for everyone who's listening and or watching, this is for an upcoming fantasy queer film called Crown and Blade. And I suppose for Isabella mainly, can you tell everyone who's like listening and watching a little bit about the story of Crown and Blade and how the idea came to you?
So yeah, well, the story is we have Princess Adelina, who falls in love with Livia, who's like a lowly soldier working around the castle. Obviously, they can't actually be together because mainly of the class difference, but they're sneaking around, and then the king finds out, so he tries to send Livia to die in war, as you do. So they have to run away together, and Adelina decides to run away with Livia. And then the king's like, nope. So he sends a hunting party after the girls, and they have to fight for their love and freedom. Well, the idea came. Oh my god, we started writing this in 2021, I think.
It was ages ago. I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly.
yeah, no, it was 2021. Yeah, end of 2021. So Amy, who plays Adelina, we had an audition for the same role. So we were just auditioning together, like not auditioning together. We were like filming each other's self takes basically. And then she posted a story on it on Instagram, like, "Hey, acting date." And then a guy that I know who I've worked with before, who's a cinematographer, asked if I'd be interested in like writing a film that is like me and Amy in some like fantasy thing. So I went back, talked to Amy, and then a bunch of us, because we all knew each other before. The only person in the cast that I didn't know beforehand was Alice, but everyone else we all know each other. We're friends. So a lot of us just came together and we devised the story together. And then after devising, I wrote down the script. And I also wanted to do like something queer because we don't have enough representation. It's just not enough.
Great.
Yeah, we need more representation. Yeah. And I also wanted to play a romantic interest because I've never played that before. So I was like, amazing. 2 in 1. Perfect.
That is awesome. I love hearing that. And also, yes, full preach. There's a huge need for more queer media, especially with 2022 being like, what was it, the biggest year for cancellations of queer media.
Oh my
So
God, yeah.
I remember seeing this pop up on TikTok and like everyone was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. And I was like, oh my god, it really does. I must talk to these people. They seem really cool. So yeah, huge props for all that, and for all of you as well being involved in the creative process leading up to it. It's looking really amazing, and I'm super duper excited for when it does does release, because you can like see the amount of like passion that you all have for the story. And yeah, I'm sure lots of people on TikTok and all across social media who've seen the clips are super excited for it all as well. But speaking of TikTok, though, I know it's been mentioned in a few videos that, well, kind of what you were also saying before, that you convinced a bunch of your friends to kind of be involved with this project. I love that. I mean, who doesn't love like, hey, you're going to be in this thing with me, right? um, it's the best way to go about it. But for everyone who was persuaded by Isabella to be involved, what kind of made, convinced you to be involved with this project?
Free pizza.
She gave me all the snacks.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And also the opportunity to do stunts with my friends.
Nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to see whether I could act or not.
You can. We now know that you can act very well. Very menacingly.
Menacingly.
Menacingly, that's the word. I can speak English.
From my perspective, I never was in the acting scene for a long time. Sort of, I had danced around it through high school and things, but on a whim, I went to this, sword fighting class, and that's when I met all of these lovely people, and you just them, you chat with them. Next minute, we're playing D&D together, and then a year goes by, and Bella's going, "Hey, Andrew, join this film." I'm like, "Okay, we hang out enough already."
Yeah, being a part of it was like sort of being brought on in the way of Izzy was going like, I have this thing I want to create, and when you're a creative yourself and surrounded by people, you want to help further those things, but also actually reading the script and having Izzy come up being like, oh, this is the character that I've got in mind for you, and actually seeing like the character having like not to slight short films in any way, but like when you read some scripts, you look at it and you're like, ah, yes, this is a very two-dimensional character. This one actually had like a lot of depth and a lot of like nice nice chunky bits that I could sort of sink my teeth into as an actor, and then also being able to be brought on in this sort of stunt side of it, and it wasn't looked at with the idea of being like, sword fighting for the sake of sword fighting. I was like, no, this is going to help tell the story, and that like reading that bit and talking with Izzy around that is really what made me be like, yes, no, I'm going to sink time into this. And many trips to Bethel's Beach.
So many.
So I know it was mentioned on your social media that most of you, if not all, are like stunt performers in some way. So I suppose this may be a question for you, Bailey, as being like the stunt coordinator. So what kind of stunt work can you expect from the film? Director, sorry, that's my bad. What kind of stunt work can viewers expect from when the film releases, and what were some of your favourites to film, if you can say?
Ooh. So I wasn't the only one to work on it as a stunt director. We had Lena working on some stuff as well as one of our lovely friends, Kim, is amazing at what she does, and we're all sort of there keeping each other safe, because you don't just want one person looking at things. When you have multiple eyes, that's where things be the safest. But there's some clips that you've already seen from one of the sword fights, which has me, Isabella, and Amy in it, where it is a 2 versus 1 fight, which is very, very fun to do. Also, storyline-wise, having those characters fight, obviously, with a guard versus a princess and other things, like what elements can you play in with that, which was really fun to choreograph around, and just, some fun sword work. A little bit of fist fighting every now and then is always fun, and a little bit of knife work, dagger work as well.
Very cool. And I guess to each of you individually, were there any specific like fight scenes that you really enjoyed doing?
The water scene was really fun. So I was stunt doubling for Bella in the water, and it was the best time. Also, some of the choreography that we did beforehand was just really fun, getting to just make that up and be creative, but still telling a story with that.
I think my favorite one is, I think it's a tie between the fight that Amy and I have with Bailey, because it's a 2v1. It's very interesting because all the characters fight in a kind of different style, and with like different intentions. But also, I think my top favorite is when I'm fighting with Kim, one of the guards, and we're just on the ground, and it's brutal. Like, it's very raw, and we're not using weapons. It's all fist fighting. It's great. Oh, and also because like it's so cool always when you see on screen like two women being absolutely like badass and going for it. You know, just love that.
Especially when they're just like balls of sunshine in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the two cute friends just be like,
It's lovely when it's not a pretty fight, but it is so lovely to watch. Just like it is. It's so good.
Yeah, I never got a chance to fight.
Hard to do your dirty work.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yes.
So for the fight that I have, which is with Isabella, being cast as the prince, you get this fun opportunity to play someone who's only ever been taught sword fighting through lessons. He has no experience in a real fight. So it's fun to act out here's what I'm doing because my instructor told me to. How am I going to actually win this? And you'll see how it goes. It's a barrel of laughs. Just watching everything cascade.
Amazing. Oh, that all sounds really, really cool. I'm one of those people, I do enjoy, even though I can't fight to save my life. I fall a lot. I actually walked into the door behind me right now. I walked into it coming in to set up. Like, I forgot that handles existed and just full
Do you have the handles
so,
that
like,
hook onto boots?
No, I just forgot. I just literally just kind of just didn't go for the handle at all. I just walked straight and just straight into, just kind of like, no, this can move. It's like, there's no, it was a whole thing. I was kind of like, I'm glad I didn't have the computer set up beforehand. If anyone was here when that happened, you just hear a huge thud, and I'm like, and then oh yeah, handles, and then immediately coming in afterwards. As someone who is that level of clumsy, stunt people are like amazing, like angels to me, because it's just so incredible, so incredible. Just the amount of skill into like coordinating these things so people don't get hurt, but also to make it look like you're causing some serious damage on screen. Like even the few little clips that we've seen on TikTok, like even like the blooper ones of I think it was you, Isabella, of like your cloak coming across your face.
That happens so much.
Nah,
I would have totally died in real life, just blindsided.
Hazards of cool looking costumes is lots of flowy bits, and then you get a wind on a beach and it goes, huh. Well,
we definitely had with Andrew's costume as well.
Oh yeah, those hoops.
Or just having to brush it off after every fight because it gets so covered in sand.
Well, a big thing with my costume is I have this magnificent scarf, which I love. The moment any wind kicks up, it's all over the place. And we're doing takes, and now it's flung off. We have to pin it so many times. And, kudos to Iona for being able to deal with that, because it just got to the point of being ridiculous.
We'll just safety pin it to you next time.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, like for Andrews and my costume, like there was so much string involved.
And Amy,
Like-
and mine, my corset just lacing me into it.
I'm trying to lace me out. You're all wet.
Literally sewn into your costumes, almost.
Yeah, it was amazing. Props to Iona. Also,
Yeah.
everything amazing.
Yes, I
Wow.
deserves far more recognition.
Just no, huge. Oh, I just hit my mic. Crap. Just because we're talking about costuming now, I'm just going to slightly jump to one of the questions specifically for Iona, just relating to costumes. I'm just intrigued about what the direction you took when it came to designing. Like, is there a Pinterest board out there? Like what was the inspiration that came
I think so. I do what my normal process is, where I talk to, obviously in this case, Isabella, about all the characters in the show, and she definitely sent me a Pinterest board, and that was well used, well used. But no, I tend to do sketches of all of my work, and we just did that for ages until we'd hammered out an aesthetic for the film, and then got into individual characters, put them together, and I think because obviously it's fantasy, so that was a nice way that it didn't have to be historically accurate, which I always appreciate. As much as I love research, it's a nice change. But just with the heavy amount of outdoor scenes in this film and the heavy amount of stunt work, it was something that I had to be very careful of when I was designing all the costumes. So, for instance, most of the actors were in a laced costume, just so that I could adjust and let it in and out whether or not they needed more flexibility or movement on set. Yeah.
Oh, and the
That
logo
was-
as well, because
Sorry?
you designed the logo for the kingdom
Yes,
and for the film.
and the logo as well for the guards, just so that the guards all had a similar uniform, but was still different enough to differentiate them quite easily on screen as well. I think the only other thing that we really focused on was using color for the two different camps. So there's the princess and Adelina, who are you'll see in the videos that are online. They're in a green and blue sort of style, and then the guards and the king, they're all in a red warm tone color, which stands out really well against the forest that we filmed in as well. So, and I will say huge props as well to Kimberly, who was our horse wrangler, who assisted me in designing some costumes for the horses, which were was definitely a new thing for me.
Wow.
Fashion wear for horses. That's the new line coming out.
I don't even own a horse, and I would buy it because like the costumes look amazing. So I was gonna say, did the horses give you any trouble? Did they give you any lip
They were
about
amazing.
this doesn't make me look nice?
They
like-
were so well behaved. Like,
Yeah, props to Kim, honestly.
yeah,
Does
she was
touch
amazing.
Wow.
Oh, that's
And
that's
I mean, we
amazing.
had like a whole team on set on
Yeah.
the day
For the
for
horses.
So
Yeah.
they were all incredibly well behaved.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. And it's like, again, like just what everyone was saying is like huge props to you because the costumes, seriously, that was like one of the first, like, besides women loving women, I was like, the costumes. That was like the second thing that drew my attention because like I love that shit. I can't sew. I broke many sewing machines when I had to do textiles at school. I got banned from my class actually. So bad. But, like full on, they're just like, "Do you want a lot back?" And I'm like, "But I've got to be here for that semester." I'm like, "No, you don't." So like,
Have a free period. Have a free period. It's fine.
Wow.
it's not the first class. That was also woodwork. I'm getting off topic. But like, I give huge props to costume making because, I mean, you don't have a world without costumes. Like, it is the costumes that help bring to life what this world is meant to look like, and you can see that immediately from the costumes. They're so professional looking, and like I did not realize that this was an indie film originally. I thought this was like something that was coming from Netflix or Amazon and stuff like that because of how incredible everything looked.
I will say my
Not
job
like-
was made very easy because Bella had a very strong like image in her brain of what she wanted the film to look like. So it was just a matter of making that, to be honest.
You were amazing. You designed all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I now
So,
love the boots you gave me.
I'm just gonna say to the listeners here, just put some love in the comments for I don't know about the costuming. Just do that right now. Send love to go follow everything about this. I mean, just seriously, love to the costuming, please and thank you. Because seriously, it's incredible. But just because you mentioned about as well as vision, just to kind of go into slightly the directing, producing side of things, what was it like bringing a film like this together? Like, what challenges did you face? What advice would you give to those who are also trying to do this as well? Sorry, that's a lot of questions in one, but
The first advice I would give is don't be like me and try to self-fund it, because you're gonna go over budget. I'm a student. I work part-time as a drama teacher. I should have crowdfunded this, but I didn't. So that was interesting. And also shoot indoors as much as you can, because oh my god, the weather! We got delayed for our last shoot day for over a month because of weather.
It was so cold.
Yeah, no, and because there was a literal cyclone that just contaminated the water. And then and then we also had, like, during shooting, it would be nice, beautiful day. Suddenly, it starts raining. And you're like, no, we can be in the rain. And then our costumes start showing up wet. So you have to go inside a little cave and wait out the rain and all that sort of stuff. And also, we were planning on shooting it in summer. But then Amy got a role in Teen Wolf. So we had to wait
Damn it, Amy.
came back in June or July. So we were filming with these, like, summer costumes in winter, and we all froze our asses off.
I think there's definitely one image of me on, I think, the Instagram page where I'm just holding everyone's coats
While we were doing the take.
ready to put back on immediately after we'd finished doing a take.
Yeah. There'd always be someone
Thermals, yeah.
the coat waiting to give it back to you.
Thermals and polyprops became our best friends.
Yeah.
Just
oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I can see how that would be intense, my gosh. Besides obviously the struggles, like, did you all kind of like enjoy bringing this film together? Like, was it like a super fun time on set and all that sort of stuff?
Yes.
Yep.
always.
Definitely.
And it's really great because they're all my friends. So it's just an amazing vibe on set. You know, like, in between takes, we're like joking around. Obviously, when the camera's rolling, we're like, no, professional, let's do this. But outside of that, it's just very awesome, chill vibes. It's great. Other tip: cast your friends. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I guess kind of going to the question to the actors here, specifically related to the character that you're playing. What is it about the character that you are playing that you love, and also something that you dislike about them? Not like just like this thing you don't like. This person's not that nice about this because they stepped on a cat. I don't know, but like things like that.
I will quickly jump in on that one, just because as soon as you started talking about the idea, it popped into my head instantly. Declan, Captain of the Guard, has a fantastic, strong sense of justice and morals, and that he has to stick by oaths that he has sworn. And to me, like, even if it's D&D, fantasy, anything like that, I like characters like that. I enjoy characters like that have a very strong sense of morals, because in story, when those morals get tested, that's where it becomes very, very interesting and lovely to see. So his morals of never betraying the crown because he's the captain of the guard. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And it's all this drama. The part that I didn't like, I would have let them go because they're a lovely couple. Like, come on! Like... but that made it really nice to play. And I remember seeing some of the videos that Izzy made up on TikToks, and there's one bit which has a really lovely bit around the captain of their sort of like struggle bit, a little bit of the fight, and then some other things that I'm like, oh, you can see internal struggle. Yes, I've done my job right. Yeah, so a mixture of Izzy's amazing editing and writing allowed me to actually fulfill that character. So yeah, it's strong morals, but they're slightly not opposed to mine, but I would have acted differently in that situation.
The thing I really like when it comes to playing the prince is a lot of the acting things that I've gone through is a lot of the improv, or it's when I'm running D&D for a couple of the people in this call and some others that are in the group. And a lot of the time that's me as a villain or sort of a person on the way to help them. And what I really like is sort of being able to get away from always having to be sort of the antagonist in the acting scene, to get away from being that villain and more to being just kind of a prestigious rich boy. Someone who really just is always on holiday. He just wants to relax all the time. He doesn't
read his book.
Yeah, he just wants to read his book and relax. All this drama is just ruining his fun time. And this is a problem for me because I like doing stuff and I don't like just sitting around wasting my time. So there's this internal struggle of me having to lounge around, being off with the fairies, and me being like, I should be helping. This has got to be something I can do. So for me, that's a big character versus actor conflict, is just having to play that personality type that I'm not that well adjusted to, but has been a great challenge to sort of flesh out and explore and see like, okay, I can do this. It doesn't have to be me, saying I'm going to conquer the world and, go collect me 20 apples for some gold.
Yeah, when I was asked to be the king, said, "Yeah, I'll just be a total bastard." Okay, fine. let the darkness erupt. Let the villain come out. Oh, it's actually pretty fun playing a villain. Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I was just going like, is this enough? Is this enough? Or just lay it on as thick as I can, and yeah, let the menace come out. My natural self. So hopefully, uh, let the I portrayed the seething anger that he had within him, and all the vitriol, hate, narcissism. Just your average dark side. But hey, hope I did a good job. I can, yeah.
I think my favorite thing about Olivia is just how, like, she has this very romanticized view of things. She's very hopeful, and she it's not that she thinks life is easy. She just thinks that I can do this because love will conquer all, and it's gonna be fine. Like, gonna be fine. So it's very cool to play someone who's like that. And she's also like obviously madly in love with Adelina. So yeah, which is also really cool because I've always wanted to play a romantic interest, and I just never got cast as that. Like, I'm always the bubbly best friend or like the angsty teen. So playing the love interest was really cool to do like romantic scenes. And Amy was an amazing scene partner for that, by the way. She was absolutely great. And I think one of the things that I don't like about Livia's personality is that she is very flustered, which is something I am too, like, personally, not gonna lie. She's very flustered of, like, if she sees a problem, she's like, okay, what's we're gonna do? Okay, we gotta do this, and then no, we're not doing that. Okay, so that's very much her personality. And it's like when you're trying to like fight for your life. That's not what you need, you know. That's not what you need. You need to be clear-minded, which she is not. So yeah, I think that's it. What about you?
And the biggest thing for me was just, it was interesting playing such a serious character. Like, Petra is quite a new guy. She's trying to prove herself. I don't think she actually smiles at all, which is very different for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just an interesting thing to play.
Awesome. I'm so excited for this movie. My God. So the more I'm hearing them, the more I'm just like, I need more people to know so it can get big, and we get I may have not seen the first one, but I want a sequel.
Okay.
But just in relation to the growing interest on social media for Crown and Blade, especially in recent months, due to the queer elements, the fight scenes, the fantasy elements, as well as the quality of the edits shared. How does it feel to all of you to know that you've got the support of so many people for this film?
It's so weird. I'm from New Zealand. I'm not used to people knowing where we are on the goddamn map. Having people be like, "Oh my God, something you're a part of's coming," and I'm just like, "We did good." It's testament to everything Izzy's been doing. Honestly, to get all this out, they've done. Blown away. Honestly, it's fantastic.
For me, it's so crazy because, obviously, when you're making something, you want the biggest amount of people to see it. But to be like, oh, I wish so many people would see it, to actually seeing that people are seeing it
and liking
it is mind blowing. And I remember when our first video went viral, it was the one where Amy and I, so Livy and Adelina, were kissing in the forest. And it's a 6-second TikTok. And it blew up. And the comments were like, oh my God, this is so cool, this is amazing. And then the next videos as well, the more dramatic edits. The second one to blow up was one of the pin videos, which is it started with me and Amy just being romantic, and then us being separated. It's dramatic. And people are like, oh my God, I'm crying already. It's gonna be so cool. When's it out? I need to watch this. This is so emotional, the acting. And I'm just like, oh my God, people, oh my God.
She's messaging the group chat in all caps, look how many people have seen this.
Just the updates of every now and then being like, oh, we've just had 500, and then a minute later, we just had 700, and I'm like, this is
going somewhere.
I see. Maybe.
And Kim was telling me that because she teaches horse riding, and then her riding students would see the TikToks, even though they weren't even following Crown and Blade yet, and they saw the TikToks. I'm like, oh my God, Kim, I love you in that video. And she's like, what video? It's the TikTok one where you're fighting. And she's like, oh my, what do you mean you saw the video? You followed? And they're like, no, it just showed up. And she's like, what? What do you mean you can see me on the internet? So yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone who supports us. It means the world.
Yeah, finger hearts to everyone. Wow.
Yeah, not bad for what was just us hanging out as friends.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be a couple days shooting?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh. What was this? Meant to be 2-3 weekends, and then
2 years.
2 years later.
That sounds like an experience. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's wow. You guys have done amazing. Oh my gosh, that's wild. Oh my Lord. To everyone watching, firstly, if you aren't already following Crown and Blade, if you haven't gone, pause this interview to go follow them on social media.
Do it.
We can't be friends anymore. Do it now. If you've not already done it, do it now. Otherwise, we can't be friends. And when Crown and Blade comes out, where can they find this queer fantasy masterpiece when it drops?
Okay, So, as we've talked about in our TikToks, it's been very delayed for a few reasons. Pretty much everything production-wise that was outside of our control delayed us. Like everything that I couldn't change was just so unlucky. So, even though our original release date was February, that's clearly not it anymore. We will probably have the film done by around June, and we will probably have a screening here in Auckland, a free screening. So if you're in Auckland, keep an eye out for that. But because we're submitting to festivals, unfortunately we can't publish it online until the festivals are over because they require they need to be the premiere of the film. So we're probably looking at an international release around November and a local release at around June. So if you're in Auckland, you're in luck. You can watch it early.
Tamaki Makoto! Woo!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, and our YouTube channel is called Ace of Swords Productions. Ace of Swords Productions. So if you follow us there, so if you follow us on TikTok already, it's the link on the bio. And that's where you will watch the film when it's internationally released.
Amazing stuff. So for everyone watching and listening, all of that, including YouTube, TikTok, social medias, all that is linked in the episode show notes or the description box. So again, if you haven't already, check that out, followed, all that good stuff. Please go do it now because Crown and Blade is amazing. These guys are all freaking amazing. I mean, like, you would be missing out on many, many cool things if you weren't already following. And also you would have my judgment. Because if you aren't following, you deserve to be judged. So, all of you, seriously, thank you so much for coming to talk with me about Crown and Blade. I am absolutely chuffed to have been able to talk to you all and so excited for when this releases and so excited for all of you as well. I hope everyone loves it. I forgot the word festivals for a second there. The festivals go well and you win some stuff because I'm sure you will. And yeah, seriously, thank you all for coming on. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
All right, brilliant. So again, everyone watching, listening, links down below, and support indie films. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.